Good evening, church. Okay, now, I don't know Darrell as well as some other members of the congregation do, but I am currently your missions facilitator. I first had the opportunity to meet Darrell in the Philippines in the summer of 2019, and we had heard of him before, and he may have come to the church before then. I just don't remember. It's been 6 years since Darrell and Christina have been to the States. There have been COVID issues, and then Darrell has had some challenging health issues, which he may talk a little bit about. But if you might remember, those of us who remember Pastor Mike, the phrase that he used to describe Darrell and Christina is, he's the real deal. And earlier this year, I had the opportunity to present to you during a missions moment on a Sunday morning all the things that the Cheeks family are doing in their island of Mindoro, which is just right south of the main island with the capital of Manila. They do a lot. They do a lot from just one family, and tonight we'll hear a little bit more about that and things that we can pray for them for. When I was in Manila at a conference, Darrell had to get up very early in the morning, catch a 2-hour ferry boat from Mindoro over to the port on the southern Manila, grab a bus, and come up in time for us to meet for breakfast. Then he did his kind of shopping and for supplies and things, and I don't remember if you spent the night or if you went back, but that was how he goes back and forth all the time. You know, the Philippines with over 6,000 islands is really an amazing place with 11 or 12 main islands. But Darrell, we'd like to hear tonight. You bring us up to date on what's going on, and this is his wife, of course, Christina. And Darrell is a native-born gentleman of Colombia.
Yes.
His mother's come to the church. His aunt is a member of the church. And,
yes, she's here tonight. Oh, my mom's here. I didn't think she's going to make it. Oh, good evening. Yeah, I was brought up in Colonial Heights Baptist Church. That goes way back. Miss Faye asked me, since I don't know a lot of you, to share a little bit about my background. Real quickly, I was a drug addict for about 30 years. No, 25 years. Alcoholic. And God just radically changed my life. Nothing I did, nothing. It's all the glory of God. So, when I first got saved, I opened up the Bible and I seen this book in there called Job. And I was thinking, well, man, I lost everything to drugs, and I needed a job, so I started reading that book, And then I read about him, and God took everything away from him, and he gave me everything back, and I'm thinking, this is the book for me. But God had other plans. God said, you know what? I'm not going to give you a corporate job back. I want you to go to the other side of the world, and I want you to tell people about Jesus. So through some circumstances, which was all God, he got me to commit to go to the Philippines for 2 years. And you know what they say, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plans. I've been there 12 years. So God changed it. God changed, and I'll probably die there, unless God calls me somewhere else. I got my beautiful wife. But anyway, enough about me. But this is God's ministry. This has nothing to do with Darrell Cheeks or me or my family. It's nothing we do. It's just all about God. And I want to brag on him tonight. Let's see if we can go. Uh-oh. Mr. Jason, I thought we lost input. We lost all our pictures. Here it comes. There you go. Let's see this. Hey, I tell you, technology is amazing in America. We ain't been here in 6 years. We were in a car the other day, and we were riding down the road, and all of a sudden this lady gets too close to the side of the road, and it was talking to her. Hey, you too close, move over. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then these Alexa things, Alexa, cut the lights on. Alexa, cut. Anyway, we're just blown away by that. I didn't mean to get off on that. Philippines, the other side of the world, 9,000 miles away. It takes us 22 hours to fly there. That's the actual time in the airplane. So y'all pray for my wife. She's got to go back next Wednesday because she can only stay a certain amount of days because of her visa. But it's a long trip. But speaking of airplanes, I guess most of you have been in an airplane. Right? Yep. I got a question. Does anybody else think God uses air turbulence as a way of drawing us closer to Him? I mean, when that plane starts shaking, everybody's praying. I looked over there and seen a guy praying, and I said, 30 minutes ago, I just talked to you. You were an atheist. Who are you praying to? Man, that plane goes to shaking, though. I didn't know if anybody else thought that or not. My beautiful wife who's here tonight, I know what you're thinking. Boy, he married out of his league, and I sure did. And you know what? God giveth, not taking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take it. But this is my beautiful wife. She's beautiful on the inside, though. A little bit about our family. Here are my two sons, Alan and Ken, 23 and 21. They're running the ministries while we're back here in the States, taking food to the feeding sites and delivering building materials to where we're building churches. But I'll go into that a little bit more. And then my daughter, we got a daughter 19, and the youngest daughter is Forever, who we're adopting. And that's her real name. I'm sorry. If you got any questions, just throw your hand up and I'll stop anytime. So the Philippines, 7,000 islands, 117 million people. As Doug said, we live on the island of Mindoro, which is right below the main island. The reason we moved there is because of this tribe. It's an unreached people group, the Hmong tribe. We think there's about 280,000 of them, but we don't know for sure. You know, they're way back in the jungles. So they don't have birth certificates or anything like that. What they believe is they're animists. So if they need a fish, they pray to the water. If they need a coconut, they pray to the tree. Never heard of Jesus. Like I said, they're listed as one of the unreached people groups. They can't read or write. This picture was taken shortly after we give away clothes. We get people sending Faye Brown. Lots of people send us boxes of clothes over, so we had given away clothes. But most of them can't read or write. We're getting more schools in the villages, and hopefully, over time, we'll get more. Don't know their birthdays. Don't know how old they are. Just have old. I'll never forget this little old lady. She didn't even know her name. She was a Hmong young lady. And she asked Christina, she said, would you give me a name and give me an age? So Christina's named her Sweet, and her age is 16. So every time you see her, she's probably like 9. Every time you see her, I'm Sweet 16. Amen.
I love it.
And she really believes it. And no concept of time. Like, we'll tell them, we can't say we'll be there in your village tomorrow at 8 or 9 o'clock. We say, listen, we'll be there shortly after the sun comes up. They don't know what a clock is. So getting to the villages is a real struggle for us. When I was healthy, did I tell y'all I had a motorcycle accident? No. I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's why we're in the States. 2 years ago, I had a motorcycle accident. It was a freak accident. I was going like 5 miles an hour, and it had been raining, and the back end just fell out. So I broke 2 ribs. I got 2 pinched nerves in my back. The disc in my back are kind of off, so it's just really affected me. But the doctors hope they're getting me well. But getting to the villages, the closest village we go to is a 2-hour walk. The farthest is, I think we walked 3 days to get to a village. So it's a long walk. This is a picture of me pointing to the top of the mountain. We're showing some of the visitors crossing creeks and rivers. Depending on the rainy season, or sometimes we can't get to the villages because the creeks are too high. Going up mountains, you can see sometimes it's almost straight up to get to these people. Here we are carrying, we always take supplies with us. We're always going to take something back there, whether it be clothes or food or Bibles or some kind of gospel tract. But the river was so high this time that these 3 guys had to help me get across. And when we can, I know these pictures aren't real clear, but we try to put supplies on the back of these carts, and then they have caravels. Here's a picture of the caravel that carries it back to the village. That's a picture of my wife in the background, and them carrying the supplies back there. Here is one more picture, the caravel. And then sometimes we have to ride these boats down to the villages. So it's just a tree, that they've carved out, and it's got these things on both sides, and the river gets really scary. Sometimes it's probably not like 12 foot deep, but when you can't swim. And bless her heart, here's my wife, and bless her heart, she can't swim, but she'll get in that boat to go down there to serve those people, and God protects us. Lots of times we have police or military escort. Thank God we have a lot of contacts, and they tell us, hey, don't come back to this village right now. It's not safe, or you need to have the police or military to come back there with you. So God always provides the police and military to go with us. Here are a picture of some of their houses. No running water, no electricity, bamboo huts. I mean, we're in America. It's hard to imagine in 2023 there's people that still live like this. I've seen a statistic not too long ago. If you make over $22,000 a year, that's almost poverty in the States. You're in the top 3% of the people in the world, most of the richest people in the world. So most of the other world is not like this. I mean, man, this church, look at this church. We are so blessed in America. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that preaching. I'll leave that to Richard. Here's some more pictures of the houses. Here is a church that we planted. And then it seemed like about every 4 or 5 years, a bad storm would come through, and it just knocks the whole village out. So they just rebuild over and over again. They don't have lighters or matches. So what this guy's doing, they'll take bamboo and they'll rub it, and eventually they'll get fire out of that. I mean, that's how primitive they are. Here's a picture. We had some Americans come over. They knew we were coming to the villages, the people back there, so they made us a bathroom. So that was the outhouse for us that day. So, God bless them. We have a lot of challenges in just things we take for granted. This man, we went to the village one day, and his eye was really swollen. So we always carry medical supplies with us. And I had some eye drops, so I put them in his eye, and about 20, 30 minutes later, his eye was fine. So we went back to this village a month later, and I seen this man, and his eye was swollen again, and he come running to me. He said, listen, what they do is make these baskets out of grass. And so they'll take that into town, and exchange it for rice or whatever they need. He said, I made a basket, went in town and bought some eye drops, but I forgot how many you put in my eye. So I got the eye drops, but would you please put them in my eye? Thank God he did not put that in his eye. He didn't buy eye drops. He bought super glue. He can't read, and the eye drops and the super glue look the same, so he tried, but that's just some of the things that we run into. I remember one time we did about toothpaste, and somebody had sent us some toothpaste that had the cherry flavor, so we give it out. That day we said, we'll come back tomorrow and we're going to teach you how to brush your teeth. Come back, they eat all the toothpaste because it tasted so good, But what they do for income is they make these baskets from grass, and we try to purchase something from them all the time. Like they'll ask us, let's see, in American money, they'll ask us it'll be a beautiful basket, and they'll say it was 50 cents, so we'll go ahead and give them $1. That way they buy rice. They also harvest rocks, like the real white rocks that you see in landscaping. They'll sell those. They work in the rice fields, and then they also make charcoal. We still cook with charcoal in the Philippines. They'll make that out of coconut shells. And then here's Jonathan, just a precious little boy that's come to know Jesus. He's just out collecting some, what do they call that? Huh? But they eat this. It's a vegetable that they eat, so that's just him out. Of course, no toys. This is a sardine can we had taken back into the village, and a little kid used it. Washing clothes, we still wash clothes by hand in the Philippines. I say we, my wife does. I cannot do it. But here's some of the kids washing their clothes in the river. I'll never forget the first time Christina come to the States. She's amazed by a washing machine. Still, she said, do you mean you can put it in there, push a button, and go watch TV? I said, yes, you can. And she's still amazed at it. So washing machines, Klondike bars, she got to have them. And then I cannot drive past a Dollar Tree. We got to pull in the Dollar Tree for Christina. But washing machines, she is still amazed by it. But she came from extreme poverty also. Praise God, we are part of the Hmong Young, which is that tribe. We are really good at evangelism, not so good at discipleship. We need to get better at that. But what we do is we go in there and evangelize, we get them saved, and then we partner with the local churches and pastors to disciple these people because we want them to see them grow as Christ. The Lord has blessed us. He allows us to serve 10,400 meals a month. And we get food from Convoy of Hope out of Springfield, Missouri. They ship it all the way from Springfield, all the way to our door. It's not just us. There's other people in the Philippines they send it to too. But they send us the food. This is us cooking. We just use wood. We use these big pots. Here's my wife cooking. And then when God blesses us, we can use propane tanks. If we can afford the gas, we use that. It's a lot quicker. So these next ones are just some pictures of the feeding site. That's my wife there serving the kids. There's some more pictures of the kids. And they're precious. And then we'll feed the adults too. But after every feeding, Christina's going to teach some kids a Bible story. And the gospel is included in that Bible story. I mean, that's what we're there for. Here's a precious picture of the kids. We give them styrofoam bowls, and it's like gold to them. They're going to wash them, and they're going to keep that. Another thing the Lord has allowed us to do is, me and my wife are national directors for Samaritan's Feet Philippines. They're out of Charlotte. They're huge. They're all over the world. They give away millions and millions of pairs of shoes every year. But we don't just go in and give them shoes. What we do is we wash their feet, then we give them a pair of shoes, then we pray with them, And at the end, we share the gospel with all of them. And we do it in that order because if we share the gospel first, Richard, they think they got to accept Jesus to get the shoes. So we don't want to do that. You know, we want it to be for real when they come to know Jesus. And even if you don't accept Jesus, we're still going to love you and give you some shoes. So here's a group that came out of Charlotte to come over and help us. And this is real typical of what we see. The feet are just in terrible shape. So we'll do medical on the shoes first. That's me and another lady doing medical. And then here's my wife. So she's sizing up the shoe, what size shoe to give them. Here's Helen, who came from Hong Kong. She's washing their feet. So here's my daughter also washing the feet. And then giving the shoes to the kids. I mean, it's just precious. We just give this girl that dress and then pink shoes to match. And they're like Crocs, you know. Here's another girl. And then we're praying with the man afterwards. This man was, now I don't know how he knew this, but he had 51 grandkids. I don't know how they kept up with that. The local pastor in that village told us that, but this is his second pair of shoes. And then at the end, like I said, here's Christina again, sharing the gospel with all the village people. Church planting, we love church planting. I don't know how many we planted since 2012. It's not important. You know, it's not us, it's God. But these are typical churches. This we had to build up off the ground because a typhoon had just come through this village. And it just wipes them out. So we built this church up hoping that it'll last, and it's still there. But these are typical churches that we build every year. And then here's the inside of a church. I mean, we just have benches. So next time somebody complains about the seats, send them to us. And we ain't got no air conditioning. It's hot in the Philippines, buddy. So here we were able to buy some used tin to put on the top of this church. Most of the time we use grass. Another thing is gospel film showing. You know, we go in, we carry the generator, we carry the projector, and they are just amazed. These people have never seen a TV. And I'll never forget, we were in a village one time. It was getting late. We needed to get out and go, get out because it was getting dark. And this man come up, pulled out one of his machetes and said, "You ain't going nowhere, boy. You gonna show us more movies." So we spent the night there. So, Miss Faye asked me to share this. I said, I sure can. I can do that.
Which one will see again?
Before I got married, I used to go to the southern part of the Philippines, which is the most dangerous part. I mean, it's very dangerous down there. You know, but now my priority is my family. But Miss Faye asked me to share this story. Talk louder. My mom's telling me to talk louder. Okay, maybe I'll get closer. Okay, so we were in a village. We'd taken the generator, we'd taken the projector, and we were showing the Jesus film in their language, in the Tagalog language. And I would say 80 people come to know Christ that night through that film showing. Well, my partner come up to me, and he looked as white as a sheet. I said, "Man, what's wrong?" He said, "Come here, I got to show you something." Halfway through that film showing, the witch doctor had taken his machete out and cut that extension cord in half. And the movie never stopped.
Oh, wow.
That's a miracle. I wish we seen those kind of miracles in the United States, you know. I mean, I was there, I seen this. There was no power backup, nothing. It was that generator and extension cord, and it was cut. And that thing did not stop. Glory to God.
Amen.
This is our island. The red dots are where we have pastors that we're partners with. That's our side of the island. For for 2024, our goal is to get in that yellow area. And when I say partner with pastors, what we do is we give them money for food. We'll give them Bibles and clothes. I mean, they're out sharing the gospel, so they have. These people really, they wake up every morning and say, "How am I going to eat today?" You know, we wake up and say, "What am I going to eat? I'm going to Rush's, or I'm going to get some church's fried chicken." You know, but these people are waking up. How am I going to eat? So we want to take that burden off these pastors. So as we get funds in, we funnel it to them. We want to be a blessing to
Can
them.
you go back one slide?
I can, I think.
You were talking earlier about the tribe being in the jungle.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where they are, is in the yellow part? Or,
No, that whole island.
okay,
The whole island is jungle.
Okay, gotcha.
Mostly the inner part. Along the outer edges, of course, are fishing villages. But when you get in those deep,
on the
particularly, so you see that black line going down the middle, I mean, you in it then.
okay.
Yeah, that's those 6-day walks to get to a
Gotcha.
village.
Okay. All right, thank you.
No, you're welcome. And then I was praying. I love, my wife's wonderful with children and elderly. But I was praying, I said, how can we reach the older generation for Christ? God, I need a tool. Because all these are tools. We want them to come to know Jesus. So God got us, he worked it out where we buy these kits from Florida. It's called Glasses for Missions. And I can make 314 pair of glasses out of this one kit. Now, I don't care where you at in the world. When you hit 40 or 50, you're going to need some glasses. Everybody, God made us all the same. So to go in these villages and to give these older people, 60 or 70 or 50, a pair of glasses, and they can see their hands again, it's a miracle to them. And then it just opens up the world for the gospel. We say, hey, we taught you how to see physically. Now, spiritually, we want to show you how to see. And then we get to share Jesus with them. And so many have come to Christ just through a pair of eyeglasses. God can use anything. God allows us to do prison outreach. He gets us in touch with people where we can go inside the prison. Here we were doing a foot washing. That is one of my most I love washing feet. If you have never done it, it's one of the most humblest things you can do in this world. And then to wash a person's feet that hadn't worn a pair of shoes in 10 years or never had a pair of shoes, you can imagine how dirty they are. So it's all day thing. You sit there scrubbing. But it's the most humblest thing. But it's like Jesus did. Right before he left, what did he do? If you ever get the chance to do it, do it. We get to distribute Bibles. There is where a little Methodist church made some dresses for the children. So people send us different things. Miss Faye has been a blessing. We get tons of boxes. Here's my wife giving away some clothes. She's giving away some coffee. Here are solar lights, which is a really big thing to them. And then we give them audio Bibles. Like I said, most of them can't read. I know one pastor, his wife reads the Bible to him on Sunday night, and he preaches that sermon on Sunday because he can't read. But he memorizes that thing. Wow. Water filters. We're blessed in this country to have it. It's not like that in the rest of the world, especially in third world countries. We can die from drinking that water. We have to have water delivered to our homes, just filtered water. I get deathly sick when I drink water out of the spigot. Now, my wife can drink it sometimes, but their body's used to it. They've been over there thousands of years, so they've grown immune to it. But water filters is a really big thing. And here's us setting up one in a church. School supplies given to the kids. But all this I've been talking about don't mean a hill of beans glasses, the shoes, the food. Now, God tells us to take care of the poor. But it don't mean a hill of beans if we ain't telling them about Jesus. We have got to share the gospel, and our team knows that. And that is our main reason for being in the Philippines. I want Jesus to change their life like he did mine. You know? Somebody talked about Mike Townsend. Mike Townsend told my mama. Mike Townsend knew me when I was a drug addict. And he says, it's not when we're going to bury, no, not if we're going to bury Darrell. It's when we're going to bury Darrell. Because he's going to OD on drugs. I was that bad off. Nothing, glory to God, he changed me. And we want to change see those people change. And then with my health conditions, I've been thinking, I need to get better. I really don't know if the doctors can get me in shape where I can walk 3 days to a village again. So, making disciples, I can train those people to go, you know, and that's what we should do is, you know, I ain't getting younger, but my health is bad. I can't walk 10 minutes now when I have them sit down. I can't make it to those villages. So God's really put that on my heart to make disciples. What he's done since I've been in town is I met Dr. Ed Gross. He's given us his book. We've sent the money to this pastor in the Philippines. He's now translating it into Tagalog. So what we'll do is use Dr. Ed Gross's book to make disciples. Vacation Bible School, we do have Vacation Bible School every year. You know, 80% of the time we're back in the villages, but when we're not back in the villages, when we're in closer to the city, we don't stop ministering. We want them to know about Jesus too. Our main focus is on that Hmong young group, that tribe. But when we're not back there, and this is a group of kids that came to know Jesus after I shared the gospel in the high school. And we did the Vacation Bible School. And then we're going to have baptism every month. You know, we're kind of like that Ethiopian, who was he with? Ethiopia? Philip, yeah. I mean, Philip got him saved. He said, man, let's find us some water. It's time to dunk them, you know? So we want them to, you know, it'll be their own decision, yeah, baptism. And other than getting saved and marrying my wife, this is right up there with marrying my wife, was the day I got to baptize my daughter, which is a precious time. I mentioned to you earlier that before I got married, I spent a lot of time in the southern Philippines, which is really dangerous. But God has put on our hearts, my heart, in 2024, I want to go back. I want to go back down there where it is and tell those people about Jesus. I don't make any big life decisions on my own, because I've made a lot of bad decisions. What I wait for God to do is confirm it with my wife also. So when he confirms it with her, that, hey, it's okay to go. And God's confirmed it with Christina, and now Christina wants to go down there. So in 2024, we're going to go back, and, you know, I just feel like if we don't go, who's going to go? And that's not any glory to us. It's all to God. But those people in the southern Philippines need to hear about Jesus. And we've got a partner down there, Alex. This is Alex, that's not his real name, and this is Alex in Mindoro that, you know, I hope will keep us safe and tell us where to go, kind of thing.
What makes it so dangerous?
The Muslims, extreme Muslims, hate Christians, do not want the gospel down there. They call them the Abu Sayyaf. Before the Abu Sayyaf, if they got an American as a hostage, they just kill us because they know America doesn't pay ransom. But now, I don't want to use the word worried. I'm curious because our current president just paid Iran a lot of money for hostages. So now is the Abu Sayyaf going to pick up on that and say, hey, now America's paying ransom? So now, it's almost like If they capture me, I want them to kill me. I mean, I'm going to be with Jesus. I don't want to go through that torture they put those people through when they capture them, you know. But anyway, please, it's not any glory to me. And don't make me out a hero. This is all about God. It's all about Jesus. So, I told y'all about it. Y'all come see us. We invite you to come see us. We pick you up at the airport in Manila. We'll take you and show you some amazing things. We have lots of visitors that come see us. We do internships. We have people that are curious about maybe going on to the mission field. So they're kind of college age, and they'll come and spend the summer with us. So we've done that. You want to get rid of your teenagers for summer? We'll take them. But lastly, we got some prayer cards, and we do a newsletter about once every quarter. We won't flood your email with newsletter, but if y'all want to sign up for that. But I apologize if I said anything that brings glory or honor to me or my family. It's all about God. So thank y'all for letting us. Y'all have been so good to us throughout the years, for your prayers and your support, and thank you for letting us share just a little bit about what God's doing in the Philippines. Thank y'all. Thank you, Pastor.